What is going on, everyone? It is James, aka the Comic Raider, and as the title will suggest, I have a new collection that I'm going to be going through. Figured make some content, go through some new stuff, have some fun. So, full disclosure here of everything. I did not buy this collection. This collection was gifted to me, which I am very grateful and appreciative for. I know some of you follow me on the low grades or see me selling on Instagram and explaining how broke I am, and you're going to be like, oh, but you can buy a collection. So I'm just going to nip that in the bud now and say this was gifted to me. So that is where this comes from. We just got 2 short boxes and a box of like hardcover and trades, things like that. A couple of figures. And I have no idea what's in here other than like the trades that I can kind of see here in the box. So don't really know what's in here. We're going to go through it together and find out what we have. So I'll break it up into parts. For this one, we're just going to go through the box of hardcovers and trades and see what fun stuff we find. So I do have to give a shout out to my dad first and foremost for always talking of me highly, I would hope, but talking about me and to people that he knows in his circle and letting them know what I'm into and my interests, and that led to this. So for privacy reasons, I won't give out names and things like that, but just thank you to who I got this from. You know who you are if you see this, and I really, really, really cannot express to you how much I appreciate this. I haven't got a collection in a while, so this is pretty fun. This will be cool to see something new. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of this, and we'll go ahead and get into it. Like I said, I don't really know what's in here yet, but we're about to find out. So oh, and then also tomorrow, shameless plug, is my birthday, 7:30. So I am considering this like an early birthday, you know, little surprise for me. So that's awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. This is an action figure, obviously. We have a UFC Unleashed Chuck Liddell, the Iceman. Very cool looking design here. This looks like, if you ever watched, I think it was on, oh man, what was that show? Not Sci-Fi, maybe Sci-Fi, but like, they had like UFC on that show sometimes. It was on cable, and they also did this Warrior show where it was like a ninja versus a gladiator, and like who would win realistically if they fought, and they would like throw axes and stuff at bodies like this to kind of show you the damage that their weapons created. Anyways, this is awesome. This is my first UFC figure that I've ever had. I love the UFC, for those who don't know, and this I've gone back and watched like the early days, but this is the era that I got into UFC, and Chuck Liddell is hands down one of, if not my favorite fighter. So this is awesome to get this. This is really, really cool. I love this. So for my first figure to be my guy, that's pretty dope. So definitely happy with that. This is, whoa, I almost threw it. We have a Batman exclusive comic book poster included Legacy Edition Batman from the Modern Age DC Universe. I have not seen this before. It's very similar to a Batman figure that I got not too long ago from my boy Joe. So like, I never had this era of action figures, and in particular Batmans and stuff. So to now kind of get 2 of them, I think is really cool. Exclusive comic book poster. I'm still curious on the poster part. I don't necessarily see it in here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's a 655 right here. First appearance of Damian Wayne. That is not showing up. Whatever. You know what that book is. Inside here. Oh my goodness. Come on, we're going to have these kind of issues. Inside, like right in here, I can see a roll-up poster. You can see that little red and white DC right there. That is a roll-up poster of that Batman 655. So that is actually pretty cool. So I might be opening this. Might be opening that. Alright, that's it for the figures. Now let's go ahead and just start going through all these books. And I'm going to kind of, I guess, just stack them up in front of me here. So, Captain America, The Trial of Captain America hardcover. I have this run in omnibus form. This is a great series. Ed Brubaker did a marvelous job on this one. I definitely have read this whole run. You know, Winter Soldier, all that good stuff. So this is really cool. I'm not gonna like go through all of these, but yeah, this is a very cool book and series. So we'll start with Captain America there. Next up, Guinness World Records 2010 Gamers Edition. Nice. I used to, fun fact, when I was a kid, like pretty much all through elementary and middle school, I collected like every year of Guinness World Records. I would have my parents buy it for me at the Scholastic Book Fair. So I used to collect Guinness World Records. So that kind of just brings me back there. Captain America, this is a trade versus the Red Skull. So looks like it has Captain America 143, 226, 227, 261 through 263, and 370, plus material from Captain America Comics #1, Tales of Suspense, an annual, Red, White, and Blue. So obviously a bunch of different stories of Captain America versus the Red Hood, going through various different eras. So these are always really cool because it gives you like a, you know, it's a very focused trade, him versus so-and-so and their best battles. So I do always like those. Captain America War and Remembrance. This doesn't say like collect certain issues, so I'm guessing this is kind of like its own thing. Written by Roger Stern, penciler John Byrne, inker Joe Rubinstein. So I mean, obviously some big names there. But yeah, I don't know if this is specific issues of the run or not. But yeah, so some more Captain America goodness that we'll have to read to find out. This is really cool. I kind of saw this already peeking up, but Civil War, the hardcover, I have got a trade of this. So a hardcover is very cool. Civil War 1 through 7, and then Marvel Spotlight, Civil War, and Civil War script book. So probably the exact same thing as the trade, except just in hardcover, which is obviously a heck of a lot cooler. I loved this series. So yeah, this has me kind of wanting to do a little reread of it. But yeah, so a hardcover there. Batman, The Long Halloween, an absolute classic. I have this in both trade and omnibus form. Well, in omnibus form, it's like part of the Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale omnibus. But yeah, so The Long Halloween, again, classic book. That is a must read, I think, for any Batman fan. We also have some Nightfall trades. That says part 2. Here is part 1. So part 1 and part 2. I have the trades of these, the kind of like large, thick ones. But this is, I really am digging these covers, actually. These are really nice. Mike Deodato Jr. For both of them. So yeah, these are actually really nice. I love how Bane looks on both of these, but the Azrael one in particular those are really nice. So yeah, part 1 and part 2 there. Another great series, must read for any Batman fan. Transformers Classics Volume 1. This is Transformers issue 1 through 13 from the original run, including issue 3 reprinted in its entirety. So that's pretty cool. I have never read Transformers, never watched the cartoons. I am one of those children whose experience with Transformers is going to come from the movies, the Michael Bay movies. So I'll be giving this a read because I know, you know, I got some homies that love Transformers, so I'll definitely, you know, be interested in checking out the comic myself and seeing how the comic book is. But we also have Infinity Gauntlet. This is a classic. I think this is a must-have in anybody's collection, whether it's in trade or singles, it doesn't matter. But Infinity Gauntlet, of course, read that many times. Here is Identity Crisis. This one I read in the last few years. I might even have a review. I do have a review. I don't think it's on this channel. It might be on the Comic Book Fiend Club channel. But I really loved this story. And I thought that the artwork by Rags Morales was also just incredible. The way that he was able to capture emotion. I am looking for one specific panel in particular. There's a lot of great moments in this, but I am looking for the Batman and Robin one, which I am trying to hurry up, but I promise you it will be worth the wait. Well, I think it is, because again, I just think it is incredible artwork. Where you at? There we go. Ooh. Batman and Robin. Batman saying, "I've got you." Man. Just emotion, fear, pain, afraid, just dang. So, crazy story. Amazing artwork. So yeah, I like that one. Okay, this is what I was referring to earlier when I said that I have the Nightfall trades. This is what I meant. I have 1 through 3 of this series. I don't know why we are having focus issues. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on my mug here. Not that anybody wanted to see that, but hopefully you'll see the books better. So yeah, so volume 3 of this. This is the one that that's like how I have that series. Let's see, we got some stuff on the side here. Captain America, American Nightmare, says by Wade. This is Captain America 1988, 8 through 13, and annual. I have not read this era of Cap, but I do know that Wade is definitely responsible for a lot of great series. So I would just assume that's another one. Guardians of the Galaxy War of Kings. This is one of those series that I have always wanted to read, but the omnibus have always been kind of hard to find. I do believe that they've been reprinted from time to time, but I always seem to miss out. So I have not read this whole series before. Let's see. Guardians of the Galaxy hardcover by Bendis. This says number 2. Looks like this is the era with Agent Venom, which again, this is not an era that I read, but I would definitely be willing to check it out. Here it looks this, so this is number 1, so number 1 there. This came out after the movie because it says, "You love the movie, you rocked out to the soundtrack, now enjoy the Guardians of the Galaxy more than ever as they ooga chaka their way into the new series." Okay, so after the movies, obviously. Let's see, we have Cowboys and Aliens. I will be honest, have not heard of this or read this, but yeah, the Old West will never be the same. Cowboys and Aliens. Obviously, sounds like Old West, and then some aliens attack or crash land or who knows what. This one is cool. Secret Invasion. I have the omnibus of this. I did really enjoy this this series here. So this is probably like the main, 1 through 8. So 1 through 8 of Secret Invasion. Let's see. Okay. Walking Dead, book 5, hardcover. I watched the series up until the point that Glenn died, not because I was upset, but just because by that point I was already kind of checked out of it, to be honest. But never read. I say that just to say that I've never read the series. We have book 3. But, you know, one day, when I get around to it, I would be interested in reading the actual series for sure. I'm just going to kind of skip ahead here because I see a few of the same things, so. And I already kind of started this out of order. Alright, so what have I shown already? I showed 3 and 5. We have number 1, book 1. Let's see, do we have 2? Yep, we have 2. We already did 3. Let's see, we have number 4. I already showed 5. So then we also have number 6 and number 7. So I do not know. It keeps just saying continues here. I'm not sure if this collects the run in its entirety or not, but I do have 1 through 7. Let's see. Walking Dead 73 through 84. So I do not think that's the whole run. But yeah, either way, 1 through 7. Hardcovers, by the way, of The Walking Dead. That's really cool. And we only have 2 more here. So these I saw these back when they came out. I've always wanted them. I just never got around to actually buying them. And I wish that they would do this again. But so this is actually really cool because, as I've said, I've always wanted these, and now I finally have them. But the Court of Owls book and mask set, I of course have the series, like in singles, and I have the omnibus, and I have the trades. This run, I've said a few times now, this is like one of my favorite stories of all time. It's definitely the one that got me up until this point in my collecting and reading. I was reading older Batman stories, and this is the one that showed me that current modern could be just as good as the classics. And so I instantly then learned what a pull list was, added it to my pull, and the rest is pretty much history. So that's all because of this run. And I say this all the time, so I'm going to say it one more time. I argue this is one of the most important runs in comic book history. And I do not say that lightly, and I will die on that hill. Because I cannot tell you how many people I know that have a similar story to mine. This is the run that got them back into collecting, got them into collecting, got them into Batman, got them into Scott Snyder. Whatever the case may be, this run influenced so many people, and therefore has a place in history as one of the greatest ever. So, one of the most important ever. Because there's one thing to be like, oh, this is my favorite story. I think this is the greatest story or whatever. But important. So we're talking on the level of like Superman and Batman, first appearances, Amazing Fantasy 15 first, like these issues or comics or stories that drew people into the hobby as a whole. And this is definitely one of them. So this is the other one, Death of the Family. I do know that they made a Joker one. I'm sorry. I remember seeing a Deathstroke one as well. They did like a Deathstroke box set, and it had a Deathstroke mask, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is so cool. Like I said, always wanted these, never got them. So this is sick, and I am probably one day soon here going to have to. I do think this one kind of came off the, like how it's supposed to be. No, maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It still looks amazing how it is. So, yeah, this is really cool. And I do want to display this on that back wall here soon, because I've always wanted those, so to have them on display will be really cool. So, that is gonna do it for the box of trades, hardcovers, and action figures. Um, so yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Some stuff I do already have, so I will be figuring out what to do with that. Some stuff I have not read yet and have always wanted to, or whatever the case may be, so I'll definitely be keeping those. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So I will be making a part 2 and a part 3. We're going to go through the 2 boxes here and see what we have. So until then, number 1, again, thank you to who I got this from. Again, I appreciate it so much. And to everybody watching, I appreciate you for checking this out, and stay tuned for part 2 and 3. And Comic Raider is out. Deuces.